Star Road, the Chinese call it, gravity's freeway. And I remember the box Chacon parked by the freeway side, dumb red convertible in the Needles, Arizona night. And I followed the line of stars with my eyes out from the earth, back into the earth. I traced the familiar patterns to Orion's belt, the second star where the holy host would come. And I traced this line around again while my lips are full of praise.
My name is Chelsea Harlan. My stuff is kind of sad, but also kind of funny, so laugh if you're so inclined. First, the alfalfa field I slow down to make wishes on. Second, the dusk bats that flirt on by, gossiping about the day they didn't see. Third, the burrs that make me grow up stubborn and sharp, but for the most part harmless. This has been a condensed list of meaningful things about rural southwestern Virginia, where my mom let my brother and sister choose my first and middle names. I am lucky they didn't choose Rad Scab or Tie-Dye Cheese Turd. My last name means land where the rabbits are. So I'm going to read kind of a mega poem interspersed with mini poems about all the pets I've had who've died interesting deaths. If that's okay. Sedalia, which is the name for my I'm wearing my lucky necklace tonight. It says Sedalia. Someone once told me that was the most beautiful word they'd ever heard. You can all mutter it under your breaths right now. Sedalia. There is no business on No Business Mountain, not in the firs or the pines or under the silver maple skirt of lazily drooping limbs. Not in the first pasture where the crabapple decides when it feels like fruiting. Not in the second pasture near the rattlesnake junk hole. Not in the third pasture where the horses hide by a crescent in the creek. And not in the other pastures will there be business. But there is a barn built of railroad ties where venison cures sometimes, and where Margaret got kicked in the side, and I laughed. I don't know how many teeth Lloyd has, nor could he count them if you asked him to. Nor would it be polite to ask Lloyd to inventory his tobacco mouth, because Kitten is busy knitting quilts and it is July. She has not been outside in a long time. They are a superstitious, if confoundingly inbred breed. Their trailer is an impressive mess. They are happiest when Lloyd Jr. comes out with red curls. Happier still in the halcyon days before Dale Earnhardt, Senior, that is, crashed his car. They say he was speeding. My mom is hired to repaint the ceiling in the Baptist church, and thus I am the daughter of Bumpkin Michelangelo. Best of Pet Deaths, Part 1. Rue is a handsome Jack Russell terrorist born in a litter of Winnie the Pooh characters, Tigger, Pooh, etc. He doesn't die when a snapping turtle gets him good. He survives the hornet's nest by the Brussels sprouts. He takes a venomous nick of a copperhead on his mischievous nose and lives to howl proud about it. Eats a few chickens in what we call a hen-aside. And salmonella only makes him shit a lot. He gorges on chocolate chips, a dog's most dizzying drug. He disappears for several days, is caught chasing rabbits under cows' legs on Penn's Mill. He disappears again, up to the ridge, into the briars. We think a bear or a coyote picked a final fight, but sometimes I think he's alive and well in Hollywood. On No Business, the weeds are real wild. I run and run and run and run around the farm, naked as a jay bathing with a bar of soap when it rains. The view from the upper hill goes like this. The peaks, Sharp Top and Flat Top, Little Mountain whose name no one knows, Onion Mountain, Apple Orchard Mountain, Terrapin Mountain, another mountain, and Thunder with its stony summits. The Appalachian Range is the world's oldest living thing according to me just now. According to the secrets the rocks themselves told me in adorable elderly rock whispers. We are ornaments of the world's oldest living thing, rocks say. When the sun sets, it is the most aggressive, bashful blush, the Blue Ridge embarrassed by its own good genes. My mother has a cataract she says is from too many such sunsets, but there are never too many, and no, Ma, you have a cataract, and I wish you would get it checked out. No Business holds us graceful at its hip, looking around. The following is a lesson in Southern grammar. The plural of y'all is all y'all. As in, and God looked down upon the land he had made, and drunk on moonshine some heathen convinced him was holy water, melodramatically proclaimed, "Aw, I love all y'all." My dad is God's most dutiful pen pal. He prays like a mantis. He played harmonica with B.B. King once, but turned his back on evil rock and roll, and also my mom, because his romance with the high skies invited him on tour with the scripture, a job he is too scared to turn down. I see him on some weekends that he sends me to Camp Hideaway, where I do indeed paddle boat myself out in the middle of the lake to be alone with my impious sauce of Leonardo DiCaprio. After a water balloon fight, I am saved by a stranger who tells me Jesus is there for me, but I know better because Leo is the only Christ I need. Dad surprises me with a Bible with a gold monogram, and I stop going to his house because the whole thing freaks me out, and because I hate having peanut butter and jelly for dinner, as much as I, to this day, enjoy PB&J for any other meal. I am baptized, though, so I guess it'll all work out. On the slow drive back to No Business, I hold my head out the window when Mom tells me I can be my own person. I extend my arm to feel the tiger lilies brush through my fingers when I turn onto Sweet Hollow Road. Best of Pet Deaths, Part 2. When we bury Sam I Am Green Eggs and Ham, that's his name, he is not far down in the earth enough and smells like a rancid, old-as-hell pony might, his natty mane rooting out into the soil. He was dead for days standing up before anyone noticed. A field mouse's cough blew him over. Sam I Am, you disgusting antique. What is the point of ponies anyway? I guess you had an okay personality. Squirt is buried shallow too, in the flat garden by the actual outhouse. Some kind of cat cancer, no one bothered to ask her how she was doing, and there Squirt is, surrendering with a wave of her white blood cell flag. Goodbye, poor dear Squirt. But then I find her body in the driveway the next afternoon. Buckwheat had dug it up and palled around with it all day. Squirt's dirty fur jettisons off her corpse in clumps. I hadn't cared to go to her first funeral. Good thing she has a second one, or her ghost might think me discourteous. The following is a promotion for the Virginia State Lottery. $3 million, win big, change your life. Buy a ticket when you buy a hot dog and get your choice. A free small Coke, Diet Coke, or a side of relish. $3 million, that's $3 million. $3 a year for a million years. This is how the lottery works. This is not a scam. The vegetable plots are mutinied by kale and mint and slowly creeping Virginia creeper, pirate bush, thyme. Somehow kudzu can't come around, its daddy no doubt courting it out elsewhere to a river with a name like James. The dogwood is the state tree, but kudzu is the state of being. Red clay, limestone, the occasional arrowhead, dishes from abandoned meadow picnics past, wormy wet dirt, a forest of multicolored oaks and tulip poplars heaves a soft sigh, and the land opens up like an unlicked envelope, truly rolling in tantrums of valleys, the thickest thickets. On the dock of a pond nearby, no one sees me sleeping, but the peepers are always peeping. The cattails purr. Mom and I plant bluebells one day when we have nothing else better to do. And honestly, what's better than that bluebell shade of blue? For some reason, we buy an unrideable red moped. But for at least a week, I feel like, now I'm really living. I feel the same feeling when I see my first buck-naked man peeing against a tree outside of the Otter Creek Lodge restaurant over a lunch of green beans and macaroni with Grandma. She tries to shield my gaze, but it is done. I'm really living. For dessert, I enjoy graham crackers dipped in warm water. Best of Pet Deaths Part 3. Sadie, cute and asking for it, is kidnapped in a redneck's truck. Susan, black and blind, naps for too long in the front yard. Jasper is a cowboy's hound, an unresolved magic act. The 2 baby goats are a cursed country Christmas gift. Bob climbs a paradise tree and never comes down. Ziggy is badly behaved, but passes like a saint in a drift of snow. Moose is old with leathery elbows. He is just old. And who knows whatever happened to the ignorant geese. The following is a nonsense colloquial run-on. Sajmo Mudrucker, Feller Bridges Witch's Tit, Gosh dang darn dern, goddamn ugly tree, fixin' to gussy up, honky-tonk, collared snaps, heard an ornery druthers, cats, reckon right, skedaddle sugar, tore up varmint snug as a bug, high cotton, knee-high to a grasshopper, he's a good old boy. Oh boy, he is Jesus' son, if the Lord ever let him have one. My mom's name is Ellen, but God bless her, she goes by Maggie. And doesn't even spell it right. Which came first, Maggie's farm or the Dylan song? Whatever she tells you, I would caution believing, though she is lovely. She is a beautiful forest troll with a great green thumb. She plays jazz flute on the porch. Her house, patchworked and wobbly, is warmed by no business's bosom and a small wood stove. If as crooked as a cruel joke, the floorboards lean like an old friend. Its posture is bad, but so is everyone's. Hillbillies shrug a lot. The house's original cabin portion was built in 1785. There was an iron bed frame we had to dismantle to take it out of the attic room. There are so many wasps, I collect their dried bodies in bottles just because. There are so many ladybugs you'd think luck was real. There are so many stars you'd think luck was really real. There are so many stars, I'm telling you again, so many. There are so many stars you feel sad glad being human beneath them. There are so many bug bites on my bare feet. I sit on the green tin roof and fold a cootie catcher for myself with fortunes like, you will grow just a little bit taller. And you will appreciate all of this someday, I swear. Steve Rickman needs unparalleled sourdough bread and plays pretty sophisticated chess for a correctional officer who eventually beats his wife. I hate him, but I love when he lets me watch the History Channel, buys me butter pecan. I shoot a gun at nothing in the woods. My hair grows long and tawny chestnut. We plant a magnolia by the mailbox. I sled down the main front slope in the winter, skip down it in the summer, roll down it in the spring and the fall. I teach myself to wolf whistle the same summer I fall in love on a midnight skinny dip in the reservoir. Best of Pet Deaths Part 4. Buckley is really, though, my very best friend. An Australian Shepherd Blue Heeler with eager ears. He falls off of a tailgate and is dumb, dumb, dumb. But I love him when I teach him to say, ho, ho, ho. Dance with him to Emmylou Harris. He loses an eye, but like a charm it jostles from the socket, and still he toothily smiles. He is fat or tumorous or both. He is easily fooled whenever we say, skin, meaning squirrels, and he runs with a sloppy gallop. One of the greatest sadnesses of my life is not being there when he's dying in the same week as my grandma, who had not lost an eye but both her legs. We made light of the event, promising her some new slippers for her birthday. Don't tell anyone, but I mourn his loss harder than hers. If all dogs go to heaven, Buckley is the best, if dumbest angel up there.